If you can't sit outside, let's say it's really the middle of the summer, the middle of the winter, it's too hot, too cold, or you simply don't have an outdoor space at home, then the next best thing is to bring nature in. Let's explore how. Welcome to GA Atelier, the podcast where intentional interior design meets mindful living. I'm your host, Jehan Askar, and I'm here with you on this journey to transform our living spaces into sanctuaries that reflect our unique story, personality, style, and lifestyle, while elevating our everyday life at home. So step inside my design workshop and let's design your home together. Nature offers us an abundance of material that can be used in our homes and transform how we feel in them. It not only beautifies the space, but also helps us connect with nature. It gives us a sense of well-being and wellness. Decorating with natural elements is a beautiful way to bring that serenity and beauty of the outdoors, of nature, into our homes. It creates an environment that feels just, harmonious, grounded, and inspiring. So in the last few episodes, we talked about, connecting to the outdoor, having that indoor-outdoor seamless transition. But if you can't or you don't have that space, you can bring nature in with small elements here and there. And the first thing we want to talk about is just why even do that? What's the benefit for us? The first one is just the well-being. Nature, there are countless studies. Nature really affects how we feel. So bringing the outdoors inside can have that profound impact on our well-being and how we feel at home, like I said. It has that calming effect on our minds. These experiences are deeply rooted in our connection to nature. Studies have shown that, adding nature into our living spaces can reduce stress, enhance the mood, and even improve productivity. The other one is just these textures and material from nature add that inviting and cozy feeling. It creates that tactile and visually stimulating environment that appeals to our senses. It's something that just feels natural to us. So how do we bring these natural elements indoor? And we always tend to think like, I'm going to bring a literal object, something I found in nature. And that's, of course, a way to do it. But we can also borrow from nature in different ways. For example, natural shapes. Shapes are very important in design. It just influences how you feel in a space, how it flows, how it looks. And nature really provides us an endless variety of shapes. And the first one that usually comes to mind is the organic shape. The shapes that are irregular, free-form. We find this everywhere: curving rivers, asymmetrical leaves, a fluid form of a cloud. And when you bring that in, you bring that sense of movement and natural flow and ease indoor. And that could be in furniture. For example, it's been very popular lately, the curved sofas, the rounded coffee tables, mirrors with irregular shapes or oval shapes. All of this kind of mimics those organic shapes and can add that element of grace to the space. But nature has also some geometric shapes. Things like the patterns of honeycombs, or the spirals of a seashell, or the symmetry of flowers. These shapes can bring a sense of order and a balance to a room. So you can use these patterns indoor as well, like backsplashes for the flooring, textile, wallpaper. The other thing is embracing the textures that you find in nature. Again, textures brings that tactile and engaging experience to the space. And we have a lot of textures in nature. It's really a great way to enhance that sensory experience in a room. Things woven from natural fibers, it adds subtle textures that can add visual interest and enhance the overall comfort of a room. The first one is fabrics, natural cotton, linen, wool, jute, all of that adds some soft but also some rugged textures to your home. And you can play with that in upholstery, rugs, drapery, throws, pillows, all of that. And you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be just one thing. Another one is wood. Wood is pretty obvious. When we think of nature, we think wood has that warmth and natural feel. And the color also of the wood is very connected to nature. We can have a smooth surface like a polished hardwood floor, or a rough, rugged texture of reclaimed wood. You can play around with that. There's just a lot of ways to incorporate wood inside. Same with stone. You can also play with the countertops that you have, trays, accessories, things like marble, limestone, even ceramics and metal. They all have these distinctive textures, and they add that sense of solidity and timelessness to the space. And then using the actual object that you found in nature. These objects not only add beauty, but they also tell a story maybe of where you found the object, and create that sense of connection to the natural world. The obvious one is plants and flowers, of course. This is just straightforward. It's easy. They add a touch of greenery. They bring that sense of freshness, vitality. They're alive. They add a dynamic element that changes with the seasons. Fresh flowers or even blooming branches in vases bring that burst of color, fragrance, and you can play around with the sculptural look of how you arrange them. Things you find outside like driftwood, it has that weathered texture and organic form. And again, you can use it as a sculptural element on a shelf, for example. Shells, stones, maybe you've collected them from a beach or a walk in nature, and you can display whatever speaks to you. The last one is the color palette that you find in nature. So we have a lot of colors in nature, and it goes from, vibrant hues of, for example, flowers and fruit, to the muted tones of earth, sky, and you can play with that. You can have the earthy neutrals like a beige, taupe, off-white, different hues of brown. That creates a calming, grounding atmosphere. Think of, sandy beaches, rocky landscapes. This is all a great way to kind of put the foundation in a room of the color palette you want to play with. You can have this on the walls, on the hardwood floors. It's just a great foundation. Now you also have the greens and the blues. This is also quintessentially natural colors that you find in forests, beach, the ocean, and they bring that sense of calm, and it's serene, and it really transforms your space into a peaceful retreat. A great color for bedroom is hues of blue that create a sense of tranquility. You can also use green and add that in, accent pieces or artwork or even painted cabinetry, furniture. And then you have the vibrant colors, the floral. So this could be the red, the pink, the yellow. These are like blooming flowers. They're rich. These colors can be used as an accent. It adds energy, excitement to a room. It gives that pops of color that draw the eye and uplift your mood. And then you have the muted tones. So you can have colors, but it's a little bit more muted. Sage green, lavender, soft terracotta. That brings a subtle and sophisticated touch of your decor. So you're still using color, but it's a little bit more toned down. It just has a more elegant feel to the space. And again, you can use them in larger areas like walls, furniture, or just as an accent in a textile or artwork or accessories. And the biggest element is natural light. Don't forget to bring natural light as much as you can into your space. It brightens the space, it lightens the mood. It's just a very easy thing to borrow from nature. So we want to seamlessly blend these elements with the finishes and accessory we already have in the space. Just subtle changes. We don't have to go all overboard with a theme, like a coastal theme or very earthy theme. It just can be very subtle things here and there, in maybe even spots that are overlooked in a room. It doesn't have to be all in the living room. You can have some of these elements in the kitchen or the bedroom or in neglected corners that are just empty or just you don't know what to do with. You can just add a sculptural plant there. Just think about how you can add these little touches throughout your home. Decorating with nature is a beautiful way to create a home that feels connected, enriching, and inspiring. When we embrace the shapes, the textures, the objects, and colors we find in nature, we can design spaces that not only look stunning, but also promote a sense of well-being. I hope you feel inspired to explore those endless possibilities of decorating with nature. And if you want more ideas, get my guide on elevating your spaces, where I offer ideas for each room in the house. It's in the show notes. Thank you for joining my atelier. If this episode resonated with you, please consider giving the podcast a star rating and maybe writing a review. And I'll see you in the next episode.